it's that time. You ready?
Good day to my favorite people.
When's the last time you had a mammogram?
I don't need a mammogram.
I'm so sorry, but you have stage 2, HER2 positive breast cancer.
Everything is gonna be okay. No, it's not.
I keep wondering if there's anything I did to cause this.
So you're telling me I'm gonna die like my mother?
Can I have a baby?
You really need to just focus on you.
I'm supposed to be in the ring right now.
You couldn't understand what I'm going through.
Much more.
Die.
You can beat this.
Your grounds, hold up your crown.
We will work through this.
You control more than you know.
I promise, I'm not going nowhere.
I'm just a woman of flesh and bone.
Welcome to the National Newspaper Publishers Association and the Black Press of America's Let It Be Known. BET, HER, and MegaMind Media recently announced the final 2 original 20-minute dramas premiering during Breast Cancer Awareness Month on Saturday evening, October 8th at 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific Time on BET, HER, dedicated to telling stories that support and celebrate Black women in front of and behind the camera, as well as bringing awareness to important issues directly affecting the Black community. Her Stories spotlights women-centered short films and highlights the next generation of Black women filmmakers. Special invited directors include a who's who list of TV and film icons, including Tichina Arnold, y'all know her from Martin, and one of my favorites, I have to admit, LisaRaye Mccoy, who directs The Waiting Room, a riveting drama that you don't want to miss. It's simply a pleasure. It's an honor. And I'm telling you, I'm crushing right now. LisaRaye, how are you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you? Thank you for that.
Oh, good. Don't do that too much because we might be going in a different direction than talking about breast cancer.
Hold on.
No, it's great to have you. Listen, African American women face disproportionate exposure to breast cancer and the high risk of serious health impacts from the disease. This film, what was it like? I mean, I saw the trailer. I'm looking forward to watching the full film. It seems so captivating. What was that like for you to direct this?
You know, let me say this first, that this was not my first go around. You know, I directed before. I had a film called Skin that I sold to TV One. But I kind of left it right there, you know, and it wasn't until Tressa from MegaMinds, she spearheads MegaMind, and she and I had worked together on a movie, and she said, well, what do you think about directing? And I said, oh, I've directed before, yada, yada. She said, I think I got something for you might be interested in. And so she was the one that bought the BET HER initiative to me, and she let me read the script, and I said, absolutely, I want to be on board. And not only because of just the body of work that I wanted to do, but to bring awareness, because breast cancer have attacked my family, and some have survived and some have not survived. I was an ambassador of Susan G. Komen years ago, and
I recall that.
And I ran my first 5K race with them, and I felt phenomenal because I did not want to be one of those, you know, public figures that just cut the ribbon and say, and you're off. I was like, no, I want to be off. I want to be able to walk the walk, because when you're walking it and experiencing it for yourself, there's a joy that came across me when I did the finish line. And I came across that finish line that I wouldn't have gotten if I wouldn't have just stood there and watched them. Sometimes you can't just watch and be a follower.
Right.
A lot of times you got to play your position and know your role, which is the collaboration of teamwork.
Yeah.
And the teamwork means that we're doing this together. And so I felt grand about it. So when this came around for me to be able to put my spin on bringing awareness to breast cancer, I jumped on it. And I when I just even saw the trailer just now, I would like to say that I am absolutely proud that I have taken the opportunity to do so. And my fellow actors that's in there, they did a phenomenal job. I'm gonna get some shots, but I'm gonna wait.
Now, what kind of director was LisaRaye? And such I had to be emotional. You mentioned having family members who survived and didn't survive breast cancer, and so I'm sure you wanted certain things a certain way. What kind of director was LisaRaye?
I'm very strict. As much as my reputation is, I don't take no, stuff or whatever. I'm a bit of a jokester as well, and people don't really know that. Hell, I come from comedy when I did All of Us.
Well, I saw you with my man Country Wayne recently, and of course, I was totally jealous because we got the same dark skin. Just saying. But but go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm doing a lot of different collaborations here, but when I began to realize that I had value from coming from in front of the screen. As an actress, I know how it is to have to muster up the emotions that may not be there because, hey, you may not have experienced this in your life. But as an actress, we need our moment in time. Or as an actress myself, I was able to whisper in their ear and bring them along in the story and give them something to be able to build upon. I will say my lead actress is Clarissa Shields. She's a
Yes.
powerhouse. She is a professional boxer and she holds four of the and I want to be able to do justice for her, but she is the only female, male and the only boxer, male and female, to hold the four major world championship box titles in boxing. So
Yeah.
she's a powerhouse. So for me, I was like, let me reach out to her and see if
Okay.
she wants to do something. And so when I did, she jumped at the chance and the opportunity and said, absolutely, I want to get my feet wet in acting and I would love to do it.
So
And
this is her first role?
her first role.
Wow.
And when she was a little nervous about the emotional part, but that's the part that she did the best at. She was like, I don't think I can cry. I was like, I'm gonna take you there. You're gonna be excellent, girl. You're gonna be good. And when I saw the scenes, even there when we were filming it, I was like, that's it. I felt that. That's the one. You know what I mean? Like we
Yeah.
didn't have to do take after take after take. I didn't have to
Okay.
grill her the way that they be grilling us. You know what I mean? It was different. We had short time to be able to get it right. We had rehearsals before we began. I ran a tight ship because not only if my name is on it and BET name is on it, but her name is on it. And I wanted to be able to bring and do it justice. And we did. And I'm proud of it.
That sounds amazing. Her first, like I said, I saw the trailer and I thought she was, not only a boxer but a seasoned actress. That's for sure. She looked really good in that film. Great job. Lisa, globally, breast cancer affects more women than any other type of cancer and is the leading cause of cancer-related deaths among women. But here in the U.S., just to make matters worse, um, we know Black women, African American women have a 31% breast cancer mortality rate, the highest of any racial or ethnic group. So when you tackle a film like this, and then someone like yourself, like you said, you had experience in your family with this, how important is to make sure that message, the message of how it affects Black women, how important it is for that to come across?
Well, here's the thing, just like the statistics that you ran off, us as Black women, as strong as they want us to portray that we are, we're still girls. We're still girls, you know what I mean? We're still daddy's girls and mama's babies, you know what I mean? And so a lot of times we get afraid to go to the doctor. And let me just be all the way honest, insurance.
Yeah.
When you don't have good insurance and you feel that they not going to pay for this and you don't feel the symptoms and you don't feel like you're sick, so I'm okay, so I'm going to bypass this. Sometimes you don't even know what to feel for when you self-examining. That was me. I
Hmm.
kept being paranoid where I was feeling all kind of stuff that wasn't even there.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like, oh, is that something? Oh, that's something. We are nervous and scared about it. And if it runs in our family, we want to go, oh, no, none of me. And if
Right.
I know about it, then I don't have to deal with it. But what we need to know about it is that you can have a chance to be able to head it off. You can have a second chance at life. Just
Yeah.
go get it diagnosed before it's too late.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get exam. People have survived. We have a good surviving rate as well.
Yeah.
With
Absolutely.
chemo and radiation, you can live a healthy life, but you can't if you are acting like you don't know anything about it. So that's why the dialogue is important for us to be able to show, and especially even in this film. My film, it's about a gay couple and she's an athlete. Well, you know what athletes think. They think that they are a pillar of health. They
Yep.
think that, hey, I eat salads, I drink plenty of water, I'm healthy. What you talking about? I could have breast cancer. That could not be me. But then that's when you need that good old accountability partner that can see from the outside and say, no, no, I think that this is worth us going to see. And when I say us, it's because it's a support system of us to be able to go and say, let's check this out. And she was scared. You know, the lead actress was scared to be able to go. And when she
Right.
said, I'll go to the doctor, her friend said, I'll go with you. I'm going to support you.
Mm.
And I don't want to give the movie away, but
Yeah,
you
right.
it's an emotional roller coaster of being scared, being nervous, believing that you're not going to survive, getting sick, having the illness, not being able to eat, having treatment. What does that mean in your life? Are you going to be able to survive to be normal again? All of that, we show that in the episodes for the waiting room. My particular episode is called The Pink Fight.
Yes, the pink fight, exactly. And Lisa, you mentioned several reasons why we hesitate to go to the doctor, but one of the reasons too is that mistrust, right, of the medical community that African Americans have historically had, and for the most part, we can argue it's justified, right?
It is. It is. It is. You know?
I mean, because we saw even during COVID. Oh, I'm y'all not giving me a shot. Yeah, I'm not getting, vaccine. No, look, we start pointing at things that happened 100 years ago,
And
right?
there's no trust there. You know what I mean? We don't trust the government. We don't trust the CDC. We don't trust the information that is given to us because we have things that we can look back on and say, let's just talk about the vaccine. You know, now the vaccine ain't no good for nobody. It don't help you anyway when you got now you want us to get boosters and but you creating all of this stuff. But for why? What's the
Right.
big picture here? You know what I mean? You're injecting us with things that's going to make us sicker and have something else later down the line. Well, then do I go back to what Mother Earth has taught us in the beginning, which is to eat and drink from her, from the earth? Because we've gotten away from that because there's so many preservatives and artificial flavorings that they put on our food that hell, even when you read the back of the label, you're like, what is all of this? How can a can of anything last for 2 years and it's supposed to be vegetables?
Right.
How?
Right.
So there is so much information that we got to take in, but we got to be smart about it as well. And we got to do our research. And unfortunately, even the research that's out there for us, it's man-made research. You know what I mean? So you just got to be in tune with your body and what feels good and try to get back to the old school because there's something to be said about old school. It's still a school of wisdom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so back there when our grandmamas was putting a leaf on our forehead when we had cold and fever, it was something to be said about that type of medicine opposed to what the pharmaceutical companies is trying to flush down our mouth and systems.
Yeah. In case y'all been living under a rock, we are talking to the legendary, the wonderful LisaRaye Mccoy, the
And you know
waiting
what?
room.
I say this too because I know a lot of people, they call me Lisa sometimes, especially when they get comfortable. But really, my first name is LisaRaye. It's together like Mary Ann or Mary Jo or Billie Jean. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I'm named after my dad, David Ray, and I pay homage to him because he's no longer here. So that's why my name is my own keepsake. You know what I mean? And
There
then
you
I take.
go.
So I always cut people and they go Lisa, and I go LisaRaye. LisaRaye. There it is.
Well, it will be LisaRaye for me, that's for sure. So, LisaRaye, you've been in front of the camera a lot. We know now behind the camera. What's the difference?
There's a huge difference, and I'm gonna tell you that it has absolutely helped me from being in front of the camera to behind, because now I'm knowing and learning my angles, and I'm being more creative, and I'm looking at shots and scenes differently than I've ever have. I know the difference between my master shot and when my close up is coming, when I really can be able to give you 100%. You know what I mean? I know the difference between when my fellow actors need a little bit of push or need a little bit of quietness so they can bring in and hone in on their craft. It's a collaboration of both jobs that is able to allow me as an actress to be able to become broader in my acting and be able to respect my fellow actor, because what people don't really realize is that when you're going to close up and it's not on you but it's on your fellow actor, you need to be able to give them and bring them that scene as if though it's on you, so you can bring out of them what's needed for the whole scene, because the whole scene needs to make sense for both of y'all.
Yeah,
Hence production period.
yeah. That journey, LisaRaye, from acting. Not that you've given up acting at all. I don't want to give that impression, but that journey. Talk about that journey to from acting to going behind the camera.
It's just that even as a female, as a black woman, and as a new director, I'm not commanding the money that I can in acting, because let's be honest, I've been acting longer. You know what I mean? This is a new job for me. This is a new incentive for me. And so I'm still learning. I'm shadowing people as well. And so until I have a great deal of body of work behind me, then I'll be getting, a role here, or either a job here to direct that and produce that as I'm growing. And that's just it. When you're picking a director, you're looking at their resume just as well as when you're looking at an actor's resume, and you feel like they can handle the job. And that's where I'm at. I just happen to have now a lot of different jobs, because, multiple income streams is good, and I'm not
Right.
just one dimensional. Definitely, if I'm not in front of the camera, I would love to be behind. And if I'm not, I want to employ people and be a producer, an executive producer, to be able to bring some other things to light. I am doing, a multitude of different things, even with social media. Now we're learning that social media, you can make money that way. And so
Right.
now we're on that bandwagon, NFTs, Bitcoin, whatever ways that we're learning that society has given us, we got to turn that poison into medicine. And I love just being able to do that.
Yeah. LisaRaye Mccoy is directing uh, the Pink fight.
Yes, that's it.
BET Her on Saturday night. Look, whatever y'all had planned, if you didn't plan on watching that, I've seen the trailer. You've got to check this out. The only thing missing is Lisa in front of the camera. But that's my own personal thing. But anyway, but Lisa, so
Lisa Ray.
Lisa Ray. Let's
See?
get this right. I know there was a fundraising event as well, right? And my producers asked me about how did the fundraiser event go for. Okay, I'm lost on that one too.
Well, I was
Polo,
like, what fundraiser? Because I don't know if they were talking about a fundraiser that I just did in DC. It was a polo match that I just did. I don't
right?
know.
That's it. That's it.
I don't know, because it says, is it?
In DC.
And it is that's what they were talking about.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yes, it was for mental illness, for Black Mental Illness Alliance. And we're just not plagued with one thing, breast cancer. We as Black folks, we got a lot of things going on with us, you know what I mean? And it's across the board and across the world. And so if we can definitely my experience on, hey, these are things that I've done and this is the things that I've heard about, it can start dialogue that will allow them to be able to start talking about it. And
Yeah.
so we do know that there's a lot of mental illness going on, and it's not just because of the pandemic had us shut down, but a lot has come out since then, and people are suffering.
Yeah.
People are scared. You know what I mean? And we're not being able to keep hope alive like Jesse Jackson taught us about years ago. You know what I
It's
mean?
another thing too, Lisa, that Black
Lisa
people.
Ray.
Lisa Ray. I keep saying I'm so sorry, Lisa Ray. That Black people also don't talk about a lot, right? Is mental health and
Yeah.
mental illness.
Yeah, because we didn't really know it was a thing, because we grew up thinking that, oh, if you go into therapy, then something's wrong with you. You know what I mean? But something can be wrong with you even if you don't take therapy. Something can be wrong with you that you don't even know that's wrong with you. You can be depressed and you don't even know. So absolutely, to have somebody to talk to, if nothing else, but to be able to vent, to be able to get somebody's constructive criticism, to shine a little bit of light on your thing that you're going through, can be the difference in between a breakthrough. You know what I mean? So let's
Yeah.
couple our prayers with some knowledge to be able to talk about what the things that we need to talk about and better, so we can have better life, so we can share it with other people, and we're just not by ourselves doing so.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to go back to something you mentioned a little earlier about self-examination when it comes to breast cancer. What is it that women should really be doing? Because I don't know that enough do self-examination. And some say, well, how do you do self-examination?
Well, I could demonstrate on here, but I'm not really sure if they would let me go and all the way. Here, when you go, they have pamphlets that show you what to do. But even when you see the pamphlets, if you're not sure what you're feeling for, and you're not sure about your own body, You can mistake anything for something. That
Mm,
was me. I was like, wait a minute, what's that? Oh, that's something. Oh, surely, let me keep an eye on this. You know what I mean? And it was like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing because I'm making myself paranoid, which, by the way, can be mental illness and issues as well because you
mm,
can put that trauma on you. And now you're nervous, you're scared, and you don't want to make an appointment to go to the doctor. And your insurance may not cover it. So you got all kind of other things that come into play. But here's the thing, you got to love life and you got to love you enough to be able to
okay.
take a chance and say, you know what, let me go ahead and do something about this. So that's self-examination. And if you do feel anything, then go to the doctor because when you put your hand over your head and you are in the shower or in front of the mirror, feel yourself. Fill yourself up. Be
Yeah.
familiar with who you are. Don't just leave it up to him or to her. You know what I mean? Be
Yeah. Yeah.
familiar with what your body feels like and in tune with that. And feel for anything that you feel that's awkward or foreign or should not be there. And go and make that doctor's appointment so then the professional can help you diagnose it.
And don't take anything for granted, right? If you
Not at
feel
all.
something that you didn't feel before, you should check that out.
Absolutely.
And and,
Absolutely.
and LisaRaye, we talked a little bit about mental health. Having breast cancer, that can impact your mental health as well, right?
Absolutely. Because that's what I was saying about any kind of trauma in your life, any kind of stress that's in your life, you can feel like, hey, maybe I'm the only one. Or you can feel embarrassed or you don't want to share that with anyone else because you don't want anyone to treat you differently. You know what I mean? Therefore, you walking around in society pretending, you know what I mean? And suppressing what's going on. That's a mental damage on you because now you're not walking in confidence. You're not walking in stride. You know what I mean? And so that can mess you up. And therefore, now you tripping all over yourself. And it might be for no reason at all.
Yeah.
So that's why I want to be able to use my platform to be able to say, hey, you're not alone, sister. I know a mama, cousin, brother, uncle that has been through something that has survived, and you can too.
Yeah, you guys got to check out the Pink Fight. It's Saturday night. It's coming right up on BET Her. Such an important film because again, it's Black. I mean, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but we know Black women really disproportionately suffer from this. And LisaRaye Mccoy has gone behind the cameras to bring us some really great stuff. This is a boxer who's the main character, as we spoke about earlier, an athlete, more than that, more than a boxer, an athlete who
Hmm.
just felt like many athletes, right? Invincible. This can't
Hmm.
happen to me. As LisaRaye mentioned earlier, eating the right things, exercising all the time, but it
Hmm.
can happen. And the problem, LisaRaye, perhaps you can expand upon this, is that it's too many who say it's not going to happen to me. It can't happen to me.
Hmm. Hmm. And in my actually my film, The Pink Fight, the lead actress has a brother, and their mother had died from breast cancer. And so the brother reminds the sister, hey, this is what mama had. And so
Mm.
I want to see you here. And so if you afraid, sis, I'm telling you, don't be afraid because I'm here for you. And that's what I mean by having an accountability partner, whether it's your spouse or your brother or your uncle. You know, people can sometimes see on the outside what we can't see when we're standing in front of the mirror.
And you mentioned brother, uncle, spouse. Does that person have to be a man?
No, because even in my film, there are a gay couple, female gay couple. And so her significant other is a female. And, you know, together with the lead actress brother, they bring about the awareness of the importance of being able to make that doctor's appointment and going to see a real doctor, a real professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just on an aside, talking about Hollywood and Black women, LisaRaye, uh, we know we've heard so many stories about how tough it is in Hollywood particularly for Black women. Are we seeing any change there? Is it getting any better, or is it staying the same, or is it getting worse?
You know, I'd like to say that it's getting better, and you know, we can see that by some other films and awards that's been given out to black actors. You know, you got the Woman King by Viola Davis, and a dark-skinned Black woman as a lead. You know what I mean? We see that some Oscars are being given to some Black actors, and we are making some noise. Are we finished? Are we done? Do we need to make more? Absolutely, we do. You know what I mean? And all of us is a part of that, because we have to support each other. Even if you're not an actor, you got to support and go to the movie theaters so we can show them that our stories is just as important as theirs, because people want to see them.
Yeah, just a couple quick things before we let you go.
Okay, because I do. Because
Yeah,
they
I
go,
know. I noticed that.
come on, girl, come on.
Your favorite role. Do you have a favorite role that you've played? And is there anyone that you haven't co-starred with that you would like to?
Oh, I I pay homage to everyone that's doing anything, because to be an actor is not easy at all. We make it look that way because we make it look fun, and we're at these parties and the dynamics of hair and makeup, and it's we looking like we and whisk away like Calgon. But the fact of the matter is that it's very grueling. It's very grueling hours. You're giving so much of your energy away to so many people that you encounter and meet. And you're remembering all these lines, and not just your lines, but theirs too. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's almost like a play, you know what I mean? And you're doing it over and over and over again, take after take after take. So, I believe that I would want to work with anybody that is doing something. I love to work with Denzel. I would love to work with Will Smith again. Yes, I would. I would
Yes.
love to be able to work with Samuel L. Jackson. But the truth of the matter is that we all do this on so many different levels that, my fellow anyone's that's doing something, I'd love to be able to, be on the screen with.
LisaRaye Mccoy, always representing. We really appreciate you stopping by the Black Press of America's Let It Be Known. Check it out Saturday night. You don't want to miss it. 10 p.m. Whether you're on the East Coast or the West Coast, it's going to be 10 p.m. BET Her, The Pink Fight. Thanks so much for joining us, LisaRaye.
I so appreciate you. Thank you so much for all the statistics and the information that you have given them. And like he said, don't forget to support Saturday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 o'clock Eastern time.
Oh, there you go. Everybody, thanks for joining us.